Hello everyone and welcome back to our reading of Lost Treasures. Today's chapter, The Money Pit. After discovering the flagstones and the layers of logs, Daniel and his friends returned to their homes in the town of Chester and told their parents what they had been doing all day. The parents did not share their son's enthusiasm for the hidden treasure and did all they possibly could to discourage them from returning to the island, even warning them that it was haunted. Not until 1804, 9 years later, did the boys find a group of people who would provide the money for the equipment they needed to dig deeper. By then, the walls of the hole had collapsed, but Daniel and his team soon cleared it out and resumed the digging. 3 meters below the second layer of oak logs, another layer was found, and so it continued, with logs being unearthed to a depth of 27 meters. The gaps between some of the logs were sealed with coconut fiber and ship's putty. At this point, a large stone was revealed, with the words 10 feet below, £2 million in code on it. The diggers were convinced that they had almost reached their goal. They stopped reluctantly for the night. The next morning, everyone was horrified to find that their shaft flooded with water, almost to the top. Full of gloom, they began to pump it out, but despite all their efforts, the water remained at the same level. They tried again the following day, but it was no use, and the project had to be abandoned. Another attempt was made in the spring of 1805. The shaft, now called the Money Pit, had caved in yet again, so the team decided to sink another one alongside it, and then tunnel through to the old one. Just after they had broken through into the original shaft, the new one began to fill up with water. Once more, they admitted defeat and gave up. 40 years later, in 1849, another group of people called the Truro Syndicate tried to reach the treasure. Anthony Vaughan was the only member from the previous teams to be involved. The money pit was dug out again until flooding stopped all work. This time it was decided to drill 5 narrow holes, 32 meters deep, to find out what was below the shaft. Samples brought up by the drills revealed that there were 2 oak chests down there, one above the other on a layer of logs. Encouraged by this news, which seemed to confirm that the money pit had been built to hide something valuable, a 3rd shaft was dug to the west of the original one. It too became flooded. Where did all the water come from? By accident, a man fell into the shaft and swallowed what tasted like salty sea water. After a careful search around the shore of Oak Island, the syndicate discovered the entrance to an underground tunnel. It looked as though seawater trapped in the tunnel would flood the money pit if people broke the airtight seal made by the layer of logs. Whoever had dug the money pit had been a very clever engineer. How could the syndicate keep the seawater from entering the tunnel? Builders began constructing a dam to keep water out of the tunnel, but the sea washed it away before it was finished. In desperation, dynamite was used to blow up the tunnel. Even so, water continued to flood the money pit. Disaster followed on disaster, until the Truro Syndicate's money ran out. Once more, all the work on the money pit had to cease. Since 1849, many attempts have been made to find the treasure. In 1972, a team of treasure seekers sank a shaft to over 45 meters. it too filled with water. Perhaps there was a second tunnel beneath the first one? A special underwater camera was lowered. It showed 2 oak chests and a human hand. Is there a treasure chamber right at the base of the money pit? Nearly 200 years after its discovery, all that has been recovered from the money pit are 3 small links from a gold chain. Many theories have been suggested about who buried the treasure, but Oak Island still holds on to its mystery. Local people say that when the last oak tree on the island dies, it will reveal its secret. 2 still remain. Well, needless to say, the treasure's not been discovered yet. In 2014, a television show called The Curse of Oak Island began, covering treasure hunters seeking the treasure. Yeah, it's not been found. 9 seasons, and it's still not been found. Over 200 years, and it's still not been found. Well, that's all for today. Join me next time as we head over to Newfoundland. Newfoundland. Not Newfoundland, Newfoundland. See you then!